Hey Commodores, John Holnack here, President of Gulf Coast State College. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on now at your college and what's going to be coming up in the next month or so as we get ready for the fall semester. We are forging ahead full steam with trying to make sure that we offer a safe, healthy, quality education for you. The faculty and staff have been working very hard all summer to make sure that everything that needs to be done is being taken care of. And we're doing the best job that we can. And I think you will be pleased with the outcome. One of the things that I want to make sure that you're aware of is we have gone to everybody wears a mask while you're on campus interacting with others. A mask simple like this one. You can get a custom made one. I've seen them in all different varieties. We're doing this because the directions we've received from the governor and from the Commissioner of Education have indicated that we need to follow the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, protocols or guidelines. We're going to be doing that safe social distancing, but there are circumstances when you're going into a room or leaving a room that you may be in closer contact with somebody, and wearing a mask will help during that very brief instance where you're closer to somebody than you might normally be in social distancing. A couple of quick lessons. This is wearing a mask correctly. Needs to go over the bridge of your nose, needs to go under your chin, needs to fit fairly tightly to your face. This is not wearing a mask correctly. This is not wearing a mask correctly. This is good when you're getting a drink of water, but as soon as you finish a drink of water, you need to put your mask back on. Some of the other things that we're doing, we have tubs of hand wipes or sterilization wipes, cleaning wipes, to wipe down classrooms. When you come into the classroom, when you're on campus, it'll be right next to the door. I want you to walk by, grab one of those wipes, and wipe down the area that you're going to be sitting at. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You just have to know that whoever was sitting in the table before you didn't wipe up on their way out the door, because most people don't clean up after themselves. They'd rather clean up before they walk into that situation. So just know those are going to be available for you. We also, depending upon the use of a room and the availability of custodians, we have custodians at all different times of the day come in and do a quick clean of the room and make sure that we've done as good a job as we can to get things cleaned up in the time constraints that we have. And then we're using an aerosol product every evening, and we're fogging all of the classrooms and all of the labs to make sure that we're doing the maximum amount that we can to reduce the transmission of the COVID-19 virus. We are working on entrances and exits to buildings and things like that. When you come to class in the fall, or if you're going to any of the classes this summer that are face-to-face, make sure you get here early enough that you can give yourself time so that there's not a bunch of 20 people all trying to jam into the classroom 2 minutes before the class starts. Just take a little bit of time. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get around all the places you need to go. If you haven't registered for the fall semester yet, I'd really like you to do that. We need to get a good feel for where we're at, what kind of classes we need to add to the schedule, what kind of classes we may need to delete from the schedule, and the best way to know to do that is to go ahead and enroll for those classes. We have pathway navigators, that's what we used to call our advisors, that are going to be available on campus. If you already have a faculty advisor you're assigned to and you'd like to talk to them, some of those folks are working this summer. They will certainly be available starting next month when all of the faculty that have been off this summer come back. If you have the chance and you haven't yet enrolled, I'd really appreciate it if you would go ahead and do that, just so that we can get a good feel for the way things are going to flow this fall. We are going to be offering classes in a multitude of formats. As usual, we've done distance learning classes, and some of you are very comfortable in that format. Some of you are not. This spring, we learned about remote learning, where we put an instructor on a TV camera, and you're able to log in through an electronic device, your phone, a computer, a laptop, a tablet, something like that. We're going to be looking at a variety of hybrid options where you may be in class only one of the 2 days a week, and the other day of the week you're watching from home while the other half of the class swaps. That'll give us the opportunity to make sure that you have access to the teacher face-to-face, that you can participate in that group environment in the instructional setting, which we think is highly valuable to your educational process. but that'll also allow us to reduce the number of people on campus at any given time. We are working on a mechanism to have some COVID-19 testing available at the college site. Those arrangements are not yet completed. I'll tell you more as soon as they're available. But just know that we are seeking every possible avenue to try and speed along your opportunities to work on your education and not let Category 5 hurricane or COVID-19 get in the way of your education. I can promise you now, and unfortunately it's a promise, that the virus is absolutely, this pandemic is going to get in your way. It is inconvenient for you now. It's inconvenient for us all. I've had the range of emotions from being scared to concerned to worried to just absolutely frustrated, as I know you all have been. And just know you're not alone in that. If you have any suggestions on the way things might work a little bit better, I'd be happy to hear from you. If you want to share with me your latest perspective on the virus, feel free to stop me while you're on campus and we can have a conversation at safe social distances and be happy to talk about that. But right now I'm looking for suggestions from folks who can help us move ahead in the educational process. So please make sure that you avail yourself of that if you've got a good idea that you want me to try or that you've heard about or that you've heard somebody else doing that you think would be really useful at the college. A couple of other things when you do come back onto campus, either to register for classes, pay your fees, buy some books, and we have social distancing and safety protocols in place in every place that you might need to go on campus. So you don't need to show up worried or concerned. I think we've got things covered. But you'll go by what used to be the old WKGC radio station building. It's located between Language and Literature and the Wellness Building and Human Resources. And you'll see a new metal roof going up. That building has been underway since the hurricane hit, but it is being remodeled into a military and veterans resource center. As I think you all know, the military play an enormous role in our community. In fact, Tyndall Air Force Base alone represents somewhere between 30 and 35% of the economy in this area. And so we want to make sure that we reach out to those who are in the service, who have recently left the service, and do everything we can to help them have a successful transition back to civilian life and to be involved and engaged in the college and college life as well. And so I think you'll find that quite interesting. We've done a lot of sprucing up around the campus. We still have a ways to go. Remember, it wasn't all that long ago that we had a Category 5 hurricane that tore this place up. And but I think you'll be pleased to see most of the vestiges of the hurricane are gone. We're still doing touch-up and punch list items and a few things like that. For those of you who called me up and were concerned that it looked like there was something wrong with the Student Union West roof when you went over the new overpass going to the beach, it looked like there's something wrong with it. The last part of that roof has now been replaced. And so I think you'll be pleased with how your college looks and how it works. As always, Commodores, I look forward to seeing you back on campus. I look forward to what's going to be our new normal times together, and I'm hoping they'll be a lot like the old times, but I suspect it's probably going to be a little while before we get back to what we would in any way remotely consider normal. But I look forward to seeing you on campus, look forward to interacting with you. Don't hesitate to stop me if you see me walking around or rolling by on a Segway, and I look forward to seeing you around. Again, welcome back to Gulf Coast, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.